Hey, how y'all doing? So, Amy Weber, who used to be JBL's valet, went during the cabinet era of 2004, maybe, on SmackDown, has come out with some damnable accusations against specifically Randy Orton and Edge. Um, so, I'm going to let her describe in her words. I'm going to play the audio of what she said, and then I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on what she said. All right, peace.
So Joy and I, who I adore, we had been working really, really hard. Every time that we would get to a new city, we would be, rehearsing and practicing, and I would be learning. And we had like a 7-city tour in 10 days. It was crazy. 2 stops in Hawaii, Japan, Alaska. So while we were in Japan, actually, on the way back to Alaska, I was practicing. I was supposed to grab the rope and break my fall, and unfortunately, I couldn't get to the rope. She kicked me a little hard in the stomach. It was fine. It was not her fault. I landed on my tailbone, so they thought I might have cracked it. Nothing huge. I could still walk, but it was very painful. The trainer told me to go into the men's locker room and to grab 2 ibuprofen, which I did. He told me what to do. I did it. And some ice. So when I was on the plane, on the way back to Alaska, we had more matches there, more TV to tape. I was laying across 3 seats. We were all sleeping, and I'm going to go ahead and call people out because this is a truthful video. Randy Orton decided to come up behind my chair, and he slammed into it like a linebacker so hard that I landed on the floor of the airplane. And then he said to me, "You're going to learn," which was, I didn't understand what he was talking about. So I turned around, went back to sleep. I was awoken by someone pouring a drink in my face. So immediately I popped up, I looked up, and I saw Edge, yes, you Edge, with a partially drank drink in his hand. There was a little bit left, and it was the same color that was basically all over me. So I stood up on the airplane seat, and I was eye to eye to him. And I said, "Do you have a problem with me?" And he goes, "What are you talking about?" So of course he denied it. The drink was in his hand. And so I said, "Come on, you want to fight me? Let's go. You want to be a man? Go ahead. Let's go. Let's fight me. You want to pour a drink on me?" And he kept denying it. But I know he did it. I saw the cup in his hand. So listen, at the end of the day, did I deserve it because I took 2 ibuprofen that the trainer told me to take and some ice from?
So, as you heard, she says that she was bullied by Randy Orton and Edge. Um, Looking up Amy Weber's career, it says that she quit the WWE in February in 2005. This is from Wikipedia. So I decided to go and look and see when this could possibly have happened. Looking at her, listening to what she said and all that type of stuff. So her timeline is pretty close. At February 4th, 2005, WWE was in Saitama, Japan. They were in South Korea, Seoul, South Korea, February the 5th. Back to Japan. Well, I guess they had 2 different brands. Obviously, because February the 5th was also in Japan. Um, we do have a little bit of a discrepancy here because some of these shows are dual branded, but some of them are also single brand. And since Randy Orton and Edge were both on Raw and Amy Weber was on SmackDown, we have to look at which show was dual branded. So, Saitama, Japan, February the 5th, Super Arena. This is seemingly a SmackDown show. And then there's Anchorage, Alaska. Alaska showed up. Anchorage, Alaska was February the 6th. Was a dual show, both Raw and SmackDown. So this event that took place with Amy Weber, if it happened, took place somewhere in early February 2005, which led to her release later in February 2005, or her quitting or whatever. So this is interesting. Randy Orton has a bit of a history of being a jerk. But this new bombshell that she's dropped on Edge is pretty interesting. Because I don't remember how old Edge would have been at the time. This was 15 years ago. So if he's 49 now, he'd have been, what, 34 then? That's No, that doesn't sound right. Give me a minute. So Edge would have been 31 because he's 46 now, not 49. So he would have been 31. Orton would have been around that same age, probably a year or two younger. So it likely happened Anchorage, Alaska, at the Sullivan Arena, or somewhere around this show, which is a dual branded Raw and SmackDown show, because Shelton Benjamin is on the show. Edge is also on this show. Randy Orton is also on this show. Yes, he is. Randy Orton is also on this show, and she was JBL's valet, and JBL is on this show as well. Yeah, he wrestled the Big Show. So it's a likelihood that it took place. I like double checking gossip like this because it's easy to just get online and say things about people, and nobody ever checks or double checks to make sure that this stuff is true before they start spreading it around. But this seems to be a pretty honest accounting of what happened, especially what we know of Randy Orton. That's really what a lot of people kind of believe is, because they say, "Oh, Randy's a dick. Randy used to shit in bags and bully people." Yeah. So the likelihood of this being true is actually pretty high. So, but Amy Weber also did an interview about 10 years ago about her departure from the WWE, and here's what she had. Is what she did an interview with I guess it's a magazine called Cosmic Tribune about why she left the WWE. And this is her interview. It was a very small section that was about wrestling, actually. She said the Comic Tribune asked her, what's Vince McMahon like to work for? Did you get in the ring and wrestle? Amy responded, Vince is great, a true pioneer. I did start to wrestle and had a pay-per-view match scheduled right before I quit. Cosmic Tribune. Vince has put on some shows for soldiers stationed overseas. Were you able to take part in anything like that? Amy responded, I was there when they did one tour, but was pretty new, so it really encouraged me. It wasn't really encouraged for me to go. This is true. And there was a Tribute to the Truth show in 2004, which she would have been very new into the company at that point. Cosmic Tribune, why did you leave WWE? Amy, it was too detailed to get into. I wasn't happy with the pay, and I wasn't happy with the frat house-like environment. And if what she says is true, that's honestly a fact, So I like to double check these things. I know sometimes people just take stuff at face value. When you're talking about people with, kids and careers and, all this type of stuff, you really should pay attention to what people are saying. But it seems like she might have a pretty good case of catching Randy Orton being Randy Orton and Edge acting like Randy Orton, which is not cool. And Edge, should have known better. He had been in the business longer than Randy. So I do I'm significantly more disappointed in Edge, because Randy Orton was like 2 years into 2 or 3 years into actually being in the wrestling business, and when this happened, and he was still a kid. He was doing a lot of stupid shit in 2004. But Edge knew better. So assuming that Edge really did pour some type of liquid onto Amy while she was asleep, that's bullshit. I'm not for I'm for ribbing. If you want to fuck with somebody, fuck with them, but they should also be in a position to fuck with you back. Not some one-sided two guys are going to fuck, especially not a woman. It's misogynistic, but who cares? You don't really fuck with the girls. There's no real reason for that. But salute to Amy Weber for talking about this. I hate that it's definitely going to get politicized and quite a bit. It's the type of stuff that I really don't like getting into. And it's the kind of stuff that I really hate about the wrestling business. There's a lot of gossip and back and forth and stuff like this. But like I said, this stuff turns out to be true. And she also has some pretty nice things to say about JBL, which is really weird. so she talked nice about JBL and Vince McMahon, and Edge this is the first time I ever heard of Edge actually getting involved with some bullying. But this is fucked up. Edge do better. Well, hopefully he did better. And Randy Orton definitely need to stop being Randy Orton. All right. If you like this video, share and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.